Does it have a release clause? Their club just value them at a low price? Maybe they're out of form or something. If a club just want to sell them, whatever the reason, these guys are available this January on a cheap. So I'm going to tell you those 10. I'm going to suggest some clubs they could go to, and I'll also say how much roughly they would be worth. So let's begin in no particular order. Number 1, Paulo Dybala. Suitable clubs: Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. Potential fee 10.3 million. A release clause inserted into Paulo Dybala's contract means that your club could acquire one of the best left feet in the game for just 10.3 million this January. The issue: said left foot is attached to a player who is seriously injury prone, missing 28 games in the last 18 months due to 8 separate injuries. When rarely fit though, Dybala is a game winner at any level, and he's proven that with his 29 Serie A goal contributions at Roma, despite all of the aforementioned injury concerns. The Argentine would be a very clever signing for any Premier League team that's struggling to score goals at the moment. That's if they can get him fit, and also if he wants to leave, as he seems very happy at Roma. So I'm not sure if this will happen, but Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea, who are clubs looking for goals and don't have too much money to play with, could do with Dybala, and his fee is low enough for it to be a risk worth taking. Number 2, David De Gea. Suitable clubs: Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest. Potential fee £0. It's January 2024 and David De Gea is still a free agent. And while he wasn't particularly sensational in his final season at Man United, the fact that a goalkeeper of De Gea's reputation has been without a club for the last 6 months is utterly baffling. I'm not sure this has ever happened where the Premier League Golden Glove winner the season later is jobless. There are certainly a few clubs in the Premier League who could be doing with an upgrade between the posts this winter, the most notable one being Newcastle, who have thoroughly struggled without their stricken number 1, Nick Pope, in recent weeks, and also Newcastle do not have a lot of money in January, so on a free transfer De Gea could be a decent punt. Nottingham Forest also could do with an upgrade on Matt Turner and Vladikimis, who both have underwhelmed this season, but whoever De Gea goes to, he would be a great experienced addition to their squad for £0. You can't really go wrong. Number 3, Souare Kouassi. Suitable clubs: Manchester United, West Ham United and Fulham. Potential fee 15.2 million. Prior to 23-24, Souare Kouassi had never scored more than 11 league goals in a single campaign. This season, he scored 17 in 14 games for Stuttgart. The 27-year-old is with Guinea at the Africa Cup of Nations, and Kouassi came off with a knee injury during a warm-up game against Nigeria last week, so it is unclear whether he will actually participate in the tournament, and clubs in need of a striker will be keeping a close eye on what happens next with him. But Kouassi is second only to Kane on the Bundesliga scoring charts, having hit 14 in the first 8 matches in all competitions this season. Kouassi's remarkable form in front of goal has taken everyone by surprise, including Stuttgart. The club are probably regretting putting a minuscule £15.2 million release clause in his contract, with the likes of Man United keeping an eye on the forward this January. Any club looking for a new number 9 will be eyeing up Kouassi this winter, and even though this might just be a purple patch, for such a small fee, it's worth a punt on one of the most prolific strikers in Europe right now. Number 4. Calvin Phillips. Suitable club, Newcastle United. Potential fee, £5 million loan fee. Gareth Southgate's once favourite footballer has been consistently out of favour since he joined Manchester City in 2022, making just 16 league appearances for the club. Due to that lack of game time, Phillips looks set to go out on loan this January, and while Juventus have been linked, the midfielder's perfect landing spot for me is St James's Park. The reported £5 million loan fee that City are after is pretty reasonable for a holding midfielder in today's market, especially when players like Caicedo are going for upwards of £100 million. Phillips, when fit and firing, was an incredible player for England and Leeds, and at one point even voted England Player of the Year. So Eddie Howe and Newcastle should be trying to make this happen, as he could come in and save their season. Number 5. Jean-Claire Todibo. Suitable clubs, Manchester United. Potential fee, £35 million. The main man in a defence which has conceded 9 goals and kept a whopping 12 clean sheets so far this season is reportedly available for £35 million this January. And no, I'm not talking about 40-year-old Dante, by the way. We're talking about 24-year-old France international Jean-Claire Todibo. Todibo is the must-sign centre-back of the January transfer window, particularly for Man United, as a long-term replacement for Raphael Varane. And with Jim Ratcliffe completing his takeover, some dodgy dealing could be done here to lower that fee even more, as Ratcliffe also owns Nice. So, it seems very likely that he will just move him over to Man United, and that would be a very good idea, because Todibo is one of the best up-and-coming centre-backs in world football. Number 6. Jeremy Fringbogen. Suitable clubs, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United. Potential fee, £34 million. Another German club, perhaps rowing the inclusion of a reasonable release clause in a contract, is Bayer Leverkusen. Due to a clause inserted in Jeremy Fringbogen's deal, linked clubs such as Liverpool and Arsenal could sign a right back who has bagged 5 goals and 6 assists already this season for just £34 million. If Liverpool are looking for a right back good enough to justify finally moving Trent Alexander-Arnold into midfield, Fringbogen could be their man. Similarly, Arsenal, if they are looking for a more dynamic option on the right, that can allow Ben White to be cover for centre-back, which is also needed, then Fringbogen is the guy. Man United could also do with a right back like Fringbogen, so they should keep an eye on that clause too. But similarly to Dybala, I'm not sure if this is one that will happen, as I think Fringbogen will want to stay at least to the end of the season, as Leverkusen are doing something really special right now. Number 7. Jota. Suitable clubs, Newcastle, West Ham, Spurs. Potential fee, loan. Signed for £25 million by Saudi Pro League side Al Ittihad after an eye-catching spell at Celtic. registered to play domestic football by the club. Make it make sense. With Jota being restricted to the odd AFC Champions League game here and there, the Portuguese wide player is notably keen to leave the Middle East this January, and Al Ittihad are willing to let him head out on loan. Due to Lucas Paqueta's injury, which will see him miss around 2 months of action, Jota could be a shrewd stopgap signing for West Ham. Newcastle could also do with some more firepower on the wings. And same for Spurs, with Son out for the Asian Cup and injuries as well. It could be a risk considering he's barely played, but would be a bargain if he returns the player he was before he left for Saudi. Number 8. Hugo Ekitike, PSG. Suitable clubs: Wolves, West Ham, Newcastle. Potential fee £7 million. PSG were reportedly unhappy with Ekitike's refusal to leave the club during the summer window, either to Eintracht Frankfurt or clubs in the Premier League. Since then, he has played a miserable 9 minutes of first-team football. If it wasn't crystal clear back then, it is now. There's no future for Ekitike in Paris, with Randall Colomani and Gonzalo Lamos firmly ahead of him in the pecking order. Still just 21 and brimming with potential, this could be a shrewd transfer for any club in need of a mid-season boost of firepower. He complements strong finishing with impressive technical ability and pace. He's reportedly available for just £7 million now, and for that price, many clubs should be willing to bite the bullet on him. Wolves and West Ham could do with his presence up front, and Newcastle were very, very keen on him before he joined PSG, so I'm sure would still be interested in him now that he's worth half the price they were willing to pay before. Number 9. Oyhan Sunset. Suitable clubs: Spurs and Arsenal. Potential fee £25.5 million. Athletic Club have scored 38 goals in 20 games in La Liga this season. For the mathematicians among us, that's almost an average of 2 goals per fixture, and a figure generally associated with the best attacks in the modern game. They are currently 3rd in La Liga, and the man behind this free scoring side is Oyhan Sunset. He's got 7 goals and assists this season, aged 23 from midfield, and is statistically one of the most creative players in La Liga right now. He also grabbed his first goal for the Spanish national team recently, and for £25.5 million, it's a real bargain to get one of the best up-and-coming creative centre-mids in the world right now. Arsenal could do with a Xhaka replacement, and Sunset could do that. Spurs could also do with him, as he can fill in for Maddison when injured, or play alongside him. Bilbao are known for their scamming with release clause. Just ask Chelsea with Kepa, but this time Bilbao might be the ones getting scammed, as that £25.5 million release clause is very, very low. And finally, number 10, Mehdi Benatia. Suitable clubs: Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea. Potential fee £15 million. Any club looking for an experienced goalscorer to add that clinical edge to their game should make their move for striker Mehdi Benatia this January. The Iranian forward has a knack for finding the back of the net with Porto in the league and Champions League, and Inter Milan were on the verge of signing him last summer, but a move never materialised. Benatia is now away with Iran at the Asian Cup, which leaves Porto without a striker who has been prolific for them in the past 3 seasons. In this season, he scored 6 times for the Portuguese club, including 2 in 6 in the Champions League. A host of clubs have flirted with the idea of signing him, since he joined Porto in 2020, and his contract is set to expire this summer. His Puskas Award-nominated bicycle kick against Chelsea in 2021 helped his star rise, but he's now coming to the end of his time at Porto, aged 32. His next step is a chance for a potential last dancer in another league. Porto are reportedly willing to let him go now for a fee of 15 to 20 million, and considering he's got 42 goals in the last 2 seasons, scored at a World Cup, and has 10 Champions League goals, Taremi has that experience, which means he should hit the ground running instantly. Arsenal could do with a clinical goalscorer like Taremi, and Chelsea and Man United could do with an experienced striker to ease the pressure of their young strikers in Højlund and Jackson. 15 million for a guaranteed batsman is a steal nowadays. So there we go. Those are 10 of the biggest bargains your club should look to sign in the January window.